The next sound is S, as in Sue. And the main thing is making sure that this is the size of a lowercase s and that it's a clear S, because we're going to need to distinguish it from the sh sound later. So Sue, transcribed like this. Sue. And it's not an uppercase S, so not like that. The next sound is Z, like in zoo. Zoo. The main thing about this, again, is that it should not be uppercase. And you shouldn't be putting a little line through it like some people do, like this. So even though that is typical for some writers, we're not going to do it in IPA. So just a plain Z, Z, and not an uppercase Z. The next sound is sh, as in shoe. The trick to making this is to make it not look like the S sound. So I try to make the middle part really vertical. In a regular S sound, the middle part is more horizontal. So we want it not to look like S, either lowercase or uppercase. So we're trying to make this middle much more vertical, and then the hook on the top and the bottom is narrower. It's hard with this pen, but I'll try to make a couple more good ones to show you. So the middle part is more upright, and then the top and the bottom are narrower, and I like to dip it below the line just to be more clear that it's not S. The next sound is the zh sound, which is the middle sound in the word pleasure. This is a tricky one to write. It looks a little bit like a 3 on the top, well, with a flat top, but it has a G hook on the bottom. So it's not a Z and it's not a G, and that top part needs to be flat. So it's not this and it's not this. The bottom needs to go below the line like you would on a G, and it's not a number 3. So straight, flat on the top, come down, and then make a hook. That's zh, like in pleasure. The next sound is h, like in house or horse. H, like in house. House. The main problem with this one is not making it look like an N sound. So if you make the vertical part too short, it can look like an N. So we don't want it to look like an N. It should be tall and distinguished from N. The next sound is the ch sound, the affricate sound, like in chop. Ch, chop. This one's also tricky. It's a T symbol that is touching a sh symbol, and they're kind of offset from one another. So the top of the T is above the top of the sh part. It's ch, chop. So it's not a T next to a sh. It has to be touching it, and the top of the T should be higher than the top of the sh part, and they should be touching. So like that. Chop. The next sound is the j sound, like in the word junk. J, like in junk. It's also an affricate. It's kind of like a combination of a d and a j sound, and that's how it's written. So, junk. Like that. And so you make a D, and you attach the j to it about midway up the D. So they have to be touching again, so it's not this. The next sound is the w sound, like in what. W, like in what. The main problem that people have with this, there usually isn't much, is maybe trying to make it uppercase, or, that's about it. The next sound is the y sound, like in you. So, you. And the main thing here is that it's not an uppercase J, so it should have its bottom part below the line. So it's not this. The bottom should come below the line. That little squiggle there isn't necessary, so let's try it again. So this is the y sound, like in you. It's easy to get confused with this one because it's the letter J in English, which makes the j sound, but in IPA this makes the y sound. The next sound is the consonant R sound. So it's the first sound in the word red. Red. And like with the V sound, the main problem is confusing this sound and the V sound. So if you make an R fast, sometimes it looks like a V. So you want to make sure that the vertical is clear, and you come up and make a clear hook on it. And actually this one's not doing so well either, because the vertical part has to be really clear, like that, because later there's a sound called a flap, which we've already talked about a little bit, and its symbol is like this. So it's really easy to confuse that one with the and red as well. So we try to make that really clear that there is a vertical on this one. So this is the word red. The last sound for now is the L sound, as in luck. Luck, like the first sound in luck. So this is the main thing with this one is that it's not uppercase, and you do need to make it tall so it doesn't look like an I sound. So that's the word luck. Good luck. And that's the end of the consonants for now.